things do get better, you know? Things do improve, and by that, I don't really mean everything's perfect. I mean they just get better. And when things get better, a lot of the time, it's not because the situations that used to keep us awake at night, the situations that used to make us go loco, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean they're perfect now. It just means we've improved so much, we've bettered ourselves, we've become mentally strong now, like stronger, emotionally resilient now. You know, we've become so capable of dealing with our issues that things have become better. Not because they've become better, but because we've gotten better. And you know, it doesn't get easier, we just get better. Okay? You get better, I get better. You just get better as a human being. You deal with stress better, you deal with situations better. It doesn't mean people have changed, it doesn't mean the environment has changed a lot of the time. It just means you've gotten better. So I'm here to let you know the situation does improve because you've improved. It doesn't last forever. It really doesn't. And even as I'm saying this, there will be situations and things that, even though I know this, I'm still like, what the fuck? Like, seriously, what the fuck? Fuck this shit. For real. Even though I know it does get better. And that's because I'm human, just like you. We're all human. We're gonna react sometimes instead of responding, because reacting is without taking time to think. You just say things or you just do things that are dumb, you know, instead of responding. See, when you've made mistakes, that's when you're thinking, oh well, I guess I could have responded, you know, meaning I could have taken my time and think and formulate a plan, or just devise a strategy to deal with something. Because now you've thought about it, you're like, yeah, I fucked up, I could have done better, I could have said better, you know. So I'm here to let you know, like, it does get better. You do get better, and you getting better doesn't always mean life is perfect now. It just means you've gotten better, that you can deal with the situation, you know. And that ties in with the whole philosophy that, you know, if there is no enemy within, the enemy without cannot harm us. If you don't sabotage yourself, the outside can sabotage you. Because, and then think about it, it makes sense. It really makes sense, you know, that you can't control the outside world, but you can control your world, the inner world, your inside, your mind, your emotions, your feelings. It makes sense because think about how you used to deal with things in the past, right? When you just couldn't deal with them, period. It's never how you dealt with them, you just couldn't deal with them. You were overwhelmed, you were just burnt out, and you were just like, fuck this shit, right? You were just like that, just like I was as well. You just like, fuck this shit, like, I don't gotta deal with this, like, this is nonsense. It just gets overwhelming, right? And then you improve yourself and you're like, oh, this is not a big deal. See what changed? You changed, because the outside is still the same shit, different day, right? Same shit, different day. And even better is same shit, different day, better you. You know what I'm saying? Same shit, different day, better you. And that's why you feel good now, which means it is true that if you don't let the outside fuck you up, you will be unfuckwithable. You can't be messed with, because the outside can't hurt you, because you've made sure it can't hurt you. It makes sense. It really makes sense. The past used to mess you up, but now it doesn't. Not because people have changed or the situations have changed, not necessarily, but because you've changed. And even if it's because the environment has changed or the people have changed, it's because you changed for them to change. Which means not only can the outside not influence us without our permission, if we change and we improve, we can actually change our life, our world. Think about the fact that you are a happier, better person now. It's because you changed, right? And again, like I've said in my previous videos, the change isn't always like you're a piece of shit and now you're a better person. The change can just mean, right? Because a lot of the time people think, oh, you change your attitude, you change your world. Yeah, but that doesn't mean you used to have a bad attitude. It could just be you changed your attitude, meaning someone's been a certain way to you, or life is kicking your ass, like life is just kicking you in the hair upside down, but your attitude changed. Your attitude changing doesn't always mean you used to have a bad attitude, now you have a better attitude. No, it could just mean a perspective. You have a different perspective in life. You know, it doesn't mean you were someone who used to steal from people and now you don't steal no more. So because of that, you're not going to jail. You have a better relationship with your family. No, it doesn't mean you're always a bad person. It could, I mean, it could be that, but it could also be that instead of thinking, you know what, I'm gonna just leave this situation because it's too much. Maybe sometimes, once in a while, you know, especially if what you needed to improve was to just deal with it. Sometimes, once in a while, you might be like, I'm gonna take a different route. I'm gonna take a different action, which is instead of just not dealing with it, I'm just gonna deal with it. That could be the attitude change you need. It doesn't always have to mean you're a horrible person or you're a better person. It could mean you used to be someone who just doesn't want to deal with shit. And because of that, things pile up. Like the emails in your inbox. But now, you are someone, you've transformed yourself into someone who, you just deal with it. You deal with shit. You know? You solve situations. You don't just like, okay, I gotta move on to the next one because that might be easier, that might be better. You're like, maybe I can deal with this. And that's not to say you put up with shitty situations. It's to say, if you're someone who used to not deal with things, and things get worse, maybe consider dealing with them. And if they still get worse, reevaluate and think what you did that you think you could have done better. If what I've said connects with you, let me know in the comment section. Let me know if you have ideas about what videos you want me to make that you believe can make a difference in your life.